Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Reino de las Mascaras, the Kingdom of the Masks. I'm your host, as always, Ray Mascaras, and once again, we made it to Friday. It's been a fun week, and I do mean that genuinely. We had Halloween this week. We are in the midst of Dia de los Muertos, hence the special Villano 3 mask today. I believe I've touched on this in a previous episode. If not, I'll touch on a future one. And I say I'm not sure because I'm honestly not sure. Episode number 46. We are 4 weeks away from episode 50, and that's going to bring about a pretty busy month, honestly, because episode 50 looking to do something a little special. And what I am leaning toward, I've had a few people ask about it, so I'm kind of thinking it might happen. A lot of people have been kind of curious about how the wife feels about these, so I just might have her film a show with me, and we can pose some questions to her. We can have her talk about things. There's a number of different ways we can go about this. So look forward to that. Most likely that'll probably be what ends up happening. And then a couple of weeks after that is going to be episode 52, which will mark an official year of doing the show. And it is a little bit, it is kind of a technicality as far as the full year goes, because I did have the week where we lost Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt on back-to-back days, where I just kind of talked about that. Instead of a mask, I really didn't even call that a numbered episode, so to speak. So it'll be officially it'll be like, I'm going to go with 52 being the full year, even though it would technically be a week after that year-long mark. But I figured that was kind of an episode to just kind of sit back, reflect, and just kind of get some feelings out. So, with that, before we get into the masks, I do want to kind of talk about something. Hopefully it doesn't bring down the dynamic, because I've always liked doing this, and if nothing else, giving everybody 10 minutes to just kind of forget about things, let some stress out, and just kind of be stress-free on it. But this coming week marks something a little bit special. I'll say this now just so that it doesn't come up and I don't end up blindsiding anybody. But 5-6 years ago, I was having a pretty tough time in life. Had just a bouncing back and forth type thing with some of the women in my life, and it hit me pretty hard. And I kind of became I became a little self-destructive, to say the least. I usually don't do these. I usually wear a t-shirt. I had a funeral to attend to today, so I had to dress up a little bit for that. So sleeveless shirt underneath the dress shirt, and kind of gives everyone a chance to see the one tattoo that I have so far. Looking to get more, but anyway, my life kind of took some pretty bad turns, and I ended up being a little bit self-destructive, and that led to me doing some not so good things to my arm over here that I'm rubbing. And I'm kind of proud to say that as of next week, it will be 5 years since I've done that. So, just kind of one of those things. Didn't want to dwell on it for very long or make an episode out of it, but just kind of one of those things that, take care of your mental health. Please take care of your mental health. Don't do what I did. I'm not proud of it. I'm I'm reminded of it every day, but I'm also reminded that I survived it. So, uh, yeah, so I just kind of wanted to touch on that. It's something I kind of reflect on as it happens, and 5 years from not doing it. So, uh, thank you for bearing with me on that. So, today I wanted to talk about, with this week being Halloween and Dia de los Muertos, I decided to look at actually one of my first masks, but also a mask of a luchador who is no longer here, unfortunately. And that is going to be this very cool La Parka mask. I got this one, I think it was 2018. I acquired this one from the merch table at that High Spots was running at a Pro Wrestling Revolver show down in Iowa. And the year before, I had actually gotten a Pentagon mask. And so when I went back the next year, I was hoping that they would have some masks, and they'd had some masks. And one of them was this one here. Another one, you can't really see it. I'll show it off at some point, but was it was a fan grade Phoenix mask. So that was huge to me because it completed at the time the Lucha Brothers set, and as you can see behind me, it didn't stop from there. But this is a fan grade mask. Oddly enough, it's got a CMLL tag on it. So either way, very cool mask, very fun mask. I actually wore this. I think it was actually Halloween the year. Yes, it was. It was Halloween the year I got this. So it was the week before Halloween, if memory serves me correctly. So I wore this to work on site at the office. So I remember that now because my friends came over with their little one that they'd been watching, and I walked up to them, and they were less than impressed. They didn't freak out, but they just kind of looked at me, and I was like, "Oh, I got to take this off." So I took it off, and oh, hey, it's my buddy. So this was this was a pickup. It was one of those things when I was just getting into mask making. I'm like, for me, it was like, okay, the Lucha Brothers, Rey Mysterio, ooh, La Parka, and I happened to see this one on the table and picked it up right away. So, yeah, but I mean, it's fun. It's, obviously, as we've talked about in previous episodes, my collecting habits have changed a little bit. I tend to go for the official ones, if not ring worn. But this is still a fun one for me. It's fun to look back on and see where, things got started. And it is part of a shrine that I have constructed up here in the Emporium, as I've had it called by others. I do have a few other masks of luchadors who have departed that I do have on a shelf together, and every year around this time, I light some battery-operated candles and a couple of crosses, and I leave them lit for the duration of Dia de los Muertos. So that's where this one resides, along with the Viona mask that I talked about a few weeks ago, as well as a Blue Demon mask and El Santo. Actually, my Hayabusa mask is over there as well. It's one that I use to celebrate the legacies of luchadors who are no longer with us. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with masks like these. These are, this one's really fun. It fits really well, really loose. So it's not skin tight. It doesn't cling to you, but it gives you the breathing room, but it doesn't move around either. It's nice and comfortable. It does have a couple of laces up there, so you can lace it up to your liking. With me, with the size of my head, it usually doesn't take much to tighten that one up. But yeah, this is kind of where it all began, because I did. This was, along with the Phoenix mask I mentioned, this was the mask that really got me going farther into the hobby of collecting. I believe it was a couple weeks after this that I purchased the Atlantis mask that I've used a couple of times before I started going with the Rey Mysterio each week, as well as a Tiger mask. And those, you know, by that point I was all in. I was collecting just about everything I could find, and we went from there. So thank you for joining me this week, as always. Thank you for allowing me to speak on not just my accomplishment, but also a little bit about my past. It's kind of hard to open up about that. It's not fun to hear. I always try to, like I said, I always try to keep the show positive, and you know, for that reason, you'll never see me do an episode, you know, worst mask replica I've ever bought, or anything like that. I've never, you know, I would never feel that way about masks that I bought, and you know, there's enough negativity in the world. I don't want to spread that around any more than it already is. So thank you for listening this week, as always. Like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you want to see, and we'll see you next week as we march toward episode 50. Start thinking of questions you might want me to ask the wife. I'll have her answer those on the show here in just a few weeks. So with that said, I'm going to check out. We'll see everybody next week. As always, live, laugh, love, and Lucha Libre. We'll see you.